Okay, guys, I'm going to go through the steps of what you're going to be responsible of doing on your own on the back. Okay, you will see a coordinate geometry problem with triangles, and you determining what type of triangle it is based on finding its lengths of the sides. So you should have this graphed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I have mine right. All right, connect them. The next thing, number 3, says to record the lengths of each side on the diagram. So I will be checking that you have the lengths of each side on the diagram. How can we do that? You can do Pythagorean theorem, or you can use the distance formula. I'm not going to really, if you do the distance formula, that's square. So you can do just plug in the points, use the distance formula, or you can do Pythagorean theorem. I think Pythagorean theorem is just faster for me. So I'm just going to do I'm going to start with SH. So I want to find the length of SH. You don't have to draw the right triangle, just count your legs. So count your vertical distance and your horizontal distance. So this would be up 6 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do it all in one step, 6 squared plus 4 squared, and then take the square root of that. And I'm just showing that all in one step. Okay? So you can simplify that if you want to take that next step. Does anyone have questions on why I just did it in one step? Because I did have a question about that. Basically, y'all know this is Pythagorean theorem, but since you're solving for C, that means you're taking the square root of both sides. So to get the C, I can just take the square root of A squared plus B squared. I take, square them, add them, and then take the square root all at once. All right. Now, I need to show you something real quick because you'll start seeing this on standardized tests. If I simplify this, I know you see that this is 36 and 16, so you get 52. Now, this is not a perfect square, but in your calculator, when you go to add a document, add a calculation, Control X squared gives you the radical sign, so you have to hit the blue button, then the X squared. 52, hit enter. I know you're familiar with that. So we could put the decimal rounding to the nearest tenth. So this was approximately 7.2. So I'm going to put 7.2 next to the side. Now, what I did on the video, but the sound was horrible, was I went ahead and simplified this because we're going to get into simplifying. And I want to show you how even if you don't simplify, you can still get to the right answer. If I want to simplify, I have to reduce it or factor out using perfect squares. So I could do 4 times 13, and that would give me 52. 4 a perfect square because 2 times 2 gives you 4. So the square root of 4 is 2, and then you leave the non-perfect square inside the radical. So the answer in radical form, which is the answer choices that you're going to start seeing on your test, would be something like this, 2 root 3. But if you're not too sure, you could always put the 2 root 3 in the calculator and see you get the same decimal. So you would get to the same answer. So even if you're not, confident and to mastery with simplifying, you could still get the right answer. Okay, all right. Now, so I'm going to do the same thing for this side, CX. If I look, it's up 4 and then over 6. So I'm using the same numbers, 4 and 6 again. So that's 7.2 as well. And then if I do CH, look at the slopes. That's 2 and 10. No, yeah, 2 and 10. So 2 squared plus 10 squared, which would give me 104. Square root of 104 is approximately 10.2. Okay, so you have to put the lengths of each side, determine the lengths of each side, then look at the lengths and be able to name the vertex angle. First of all, by looking at the lengths, what type of triangle do we have here? Isosceles, because we see 2 sides are congruent. Okay, so the vertex angle would have to be angle what? Have to be S, angle S, right? Because the vertex angle is the angle included with the 2 congruent sides. So it's in between the 2 congruent sides. All right, it says find and label midpoint M. So we're going to put a point and label it M of the side opposite to the vertex. So what side would be opposite our vertex? The CH, right? Okay. So we need to find the midpoint of CH. okay, and write the coordinates. That's number 5.
So we're going to get H.
Yeah, so we could do midpoint formula, which is x1 plus x2. Yeah, so C and 8. So negative 1 and 9 gives you 8 divided by 2, right? 4. Yes, Chris?
How do we know that S?
Because it's the angle included with the 2 congruent sides. The angle in between the 2 congruent sides. Okay, all right. All right, so we can figure out this coordinate for the midpoint. M is going to be what? Hopefully, do the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of CH.
So what happens if all the sides are different?
If all the sides were different, it would be scaling. It wouldn't be isosceles. Okay. All right, guys. Midpoint. You're not. Come on. 47. All right. We should get that. Yes. And my point is a little off. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, so we should put in here 4, 7. We're going to use this point for every time we write our equation. We're going to use the midpoint to help to write our equation. And the reason why I'm doing that is because they want you to, the first thing is draw the segment connecting the vertex to the midpoint. So you're going to draw that line. This was my midpoint. So if you have not drawn the line from the vertex to the midpoint, you need to do that. And yesterday we learned that that's a perpendicular bisector. Whenever that happens, when you go from a midpoint to the vertex, 2 things occur. This becomes perpendicular, and it bisects the angle. Now, we're going to show that algebraically, writing the equation of the line. All right, so it contains the side opposite the vertex. What side is opposite the vertex? CH. Okay, so we have to find the slope of CH. Do your rise over run for the slope of CH. That's the first thing we need to do. Count up, over, or count up, over to the midpoint. Yeah, the slope should be 1 over 5. So make the slope of CH equal 1 over 5. All right, then we're going to use point slope form. Because we have the midpoint, which is 4, 7. And now I'm just going to say y minus 7 equals 1 over 5, parentheses x minus 4. And that's my equation for CH. Yes, sir?
Why is it not negative?
Well, is that line decreasing? It is decreasing? You read right from left? You read left from right.
Oh, that.
So,
I thought you meant the midsection.
No, I'm doing, it says first to do the opposite the vertex. So we need to do this side, CH.
Oh.
On the second one, then it is decreasing, yeah. All right, so then we're going to contain, basically we're going to now do the line from the midpoint to the vertex, which is MS, excuse me. So we're going to find the slope of SM. So find your slope of your perpendicular bisector that you drew. Count your rise over run. What do you notice about this line? This line is negative. Yeah, it's perpendicular. We're going to prove it though. What's the slope? Count.
Because it's a straight bisector.
So I count, I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
And I'm going down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Negative 5 over 1, which is just a negative 5.
Wait, where did you get the negative 5 and negative 4?
The midpoint.
So you just put that in there?
Yeah. Mm. All right, so what do we know about 2 slopes? We have 1/5 and a negative 5. What do we know about the slopes? Yeah. The slopes are opposite reciprocal. Therefore, perpendicular. Now, to do the equation, because they want us to write the equation of this line, but now we're going to use the perpendicular slope, the negative 5. And we're still going to use our midpoint, so this would just be y minus 7 equals negative 5, parentheses x minus 4. Okay? Okay, guys, you should have got. Most of y'all had the links. Y'all saw it was isosceles. You had N as your vertex, so I saw that. And so the midpoint, you should have had 1, 2. And I saw that it was this point here. But then you needed to connect these two together and come up with the equation. This equation, this is negative, so this is y minus 2 equals a negative 5/4 parentheses x minus 1.
What do y'all do?
And then it's going to be perpendicular, so opposite reciprocal. So positive 4/5 x minus 1. And then what was the vertex on the last graph? Hopefully G. G, and then you should have had negative 2, 1 for the midpoint. Okay, so if you didn't get to this one, please make sure you can at least do the equation. The equation is what I'm checking for on your test. I don't know if y'all can do that when some of you have already put away. So either you have checked with your group members that y'all have the same equation, and I came by and stamped and gave you points. If you did not get a stamp or you still need stamps, let me know. Everyone else, put your sheets in the tray.
Stamp for me.